Good afternoon. Welcome to the Essex Committee of Adjustments. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I'm chairperson of the Committee of Adjustment, Phil Pocock. The order of today's meeting will be under my direction. All items on the agenda must be acknowledged by me prior to any discussion, presentation, or decision. When I acknowledge you to speak, you can address me as chair. Please be advised that all proceedings and decisions of this Committee of Adjustments are undertaken without bias or conflict of interest. If there's any conflict of interest, members of the committee, including myself, will declare the conflict either at the beginning of the meeting or declare it prior to the application being heard. All members of the audience that wish to speak will be allowed to do so when acknowledged by myself in accordance with the published agenda. When invited to speak, please approach the podium at the back of the room, turn the microphone on by pressing the button, wait a second or two, the microphone to turn on with a blue light before speaking. We ask that all audience attendants be respectful and speak to the application at hand only. Any topics or discussions that deviate from the application at hand will not be tolerated. All members of the public that wish to speak will be granted a maximum of 5 minutes. Please note that this meeting is being live streamed to the town YouTube page. I'm going to introduce the committee and the people that are here. In the far back corner is Ian Rawlings. Then it's Charlene Mayu is our planning and heritage intern. Beside her is Dan Zove, committee member. Then Doreen Lester, committee member. Our side is Matthew Child, committee member. And Marcia Bukta, our planning clerk. And myself. And Ian, you want to start with the land acknowledgement?
We acknowledge that this land is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprising of the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi peoples, and of the Huron-Wendat peoples. We value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island who have been living and working on the land from time immemorial. Thank
you. A declaration of conflict of interest? Seeing any? I'm going to move to the adoption of published agenda for May 21st. Ordered by Dan. Doreen, all in favor? Or do you need to speak to this one? Not yet. Okay. All good? Yeah. All right. Now we're going to move to the agenda. Committee of Adjustment meeting, April 15th. Moved by Matthew, seconded by Doreen. All good? Yep. And we're now going to move to the first application, A5-25.
Through you, Chair, application A0525 for the property 205 Center Street has voluntarily deferred as they plan to revise their application. Their application will return to the Committee of Adjustment and new notices will be circulated regarding the revised application and be brought back forward when it's ready to come back to the committee. No motion is required at this time. However, no planning report, no presentation prepared. Thank you.
Okay, well then we'll move on to application B0625. And are we going to do 200725 at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you, Chair. We have two applications tonight for the property 265 Maidstone Avenue East. The subject property is designated residential in the Town of Essex official plan and is zoned Development Reserve District 1.1 in the Town of Essex zoning bylaw. The subject property does not contain any natural heritage features or items identified under the Ontario Heritage Act. It is not located in a floodplain development control area and is not located within the Essex Region Conservation Authority's limit of regulated area. The subject property is approximately 13,000 square meters in lot area and currently contains a single unit dwelling and 3 accessory structures. Next slide, please. Actually, 1 second. So The first application is B0625, which details that the applicant intends to sever a 9,299 square meter parcel to be added to the adjacent residential property identified as 0 Maidstone Avenue East, which I refer to as the receiving lands. The applicant is proposing the lot addition to create a residential building lot to support the construction of a single unit dwelling and associated accessory structure as detailed on their site plan. The receiving lands are currently vacant and are designated residential and are zoned Residential District 1.1. Next slide, please. So here, the second consent application, being B0725, proposes to sever a 1,912 square meter parcel for the purpose of creating one new residential building lot. The proposed lot will front Maidstone Avenue East and will contain no structures at this time. Following the completion of both consent applications, the retained lot will be proposed to have a lot area of 2,111 square meters, will front Maidstone Avenue East, and will contain the existing single unit dwelling, the existing access to the property, and all accessory structures. Next slide, please. So here we have the applicant's site plan. I have put a blue border around the property itself and detailed the new lot lines as well. And then you can see the receiving lands, which I've highlighted in yellow, detailing where the lot addition lands will be added to. Right now, the applicant is proposing a single unit dwelling and accessory structure on the lot addition lands. However, this isn't this isn't privy to the lot addition application today. Next slide, please. So here we have an image of the subject property for which you can see from the road. This is the only land from 265 Maidstone Avenue East that you can see from the roadway. Next slide, please. Here we have the retained lands following the completion of both severance applications. Here you can see it contains the existing dwelling and then also the accessory structure as well. Next slide, please. Here we have the lands to be severed for the creation of the new lot, which fronts Maidstone Avenue East. And you can see in the other image at the bottom there that the lands are currently manicured, but there's no structures on them. It does look like there's a structure on it. That's actually the neighbor's property. It's just close to the lot line there. Next slide, please. Here we have the lot addition lands. Not too much to show for these lands. They're manicured at this time, and they would remain vacant. Next slide, please. And here we have the receiving lands, also vacant and manicured. And then lastly, there are two accessory structures at the very back of the property that are located in close proximity to the lot line that would distinguish the retained lands from the lot addition lands. It has been included as a condition that the applicant bring these structures into compliance, as their location is not exactly known with respect to the lot lines. However, that would be determined through acquiring a survey, which is also a condition of the severance. Next slide, please. So now for the policies considered for the consent application. The proposed consent application is supportive of the provincial planning statement and the County of Essex official plan, as it promotes residential intensification within settlement areas on full municipal services. However, the provincial planning statement and County of Essex official plan do not contain policies regarding lot additions within residential areas, and they delegate lot addition severances to the lower tier municipalities. The Town of Essex official plan is supportive of the severance, as the creation of the new lot is considered infill development in a previously developed area. Full municipal services are available, and the new and retained lot are reflective of the longer lots along the northern side of Maidstone Avenue East. And the lot addition is viewed as technical in nature and is used to support an existing vacant lot along Maidstone Avenue. The proposed lot creation does not abide by the Development Reserve District 1.1 zoning, but does abide by the Residential District 1.1 zoning. Next slide, please. Here, I have the snippet from the zoning bylaw to compare the two zoning regulations. However, I note that they are a little difficult to see here. So I'll go through each one just very briefly. The Development Reserve District, which is on the right-hand side, permits lawfully existing uses only, such as a single unit dwelling or an agricultural operation, meaning no new ones are able to be established. And if they cease to exist or the single unit dwelling is taken down, a new one can't be built within a reasonable amount of time there. Furthermore, the lot width and the lot area for a development reserve district is as existing, so which makes lot additions and the creation of new lots difficult to support without a zoning amendment application. The applicant is filing for a zoning amendment to essentially make these buildable lots as well, and will be converting the zoning over to a residential district 1.1 zoning, which permits things such as a single, 2, or 3 unit dwelling or semi-detached dwelling, and also has a minimum lot width and lot area requirement in which all the lots abide by. Next slide, please. So the Essex Region Conservation Authority has provided comments and expresses no objections. And Infrastructure Services has advised that there is sanitary sewer and water main fronting the property, and new services can be provided. At this time, no concerns from the Infrastructure Services. All other comments they had will be handled at the building permit stage, which includes things such as access to the right-of-way. And lastly, no comments or objections were received from the public at this time. Next slide, please. So here we have the recommendation for consent B0625, which is the lot addition only. The planning department recommends approval subject to our following conditions. These are standard conditions, being the providing a survey, drafts transfers, confirmation of all taxes, drain apportionments, confirmation that the properties will merge. And there's two unique conditions. The first being that the applicant rezone the property to residential district 1.1. And the second being that the existing accessory structures be brought into compliance with the zoning bylaw. This allows the applicant to relocate them, demolish them, move them whichever is seen fit, as long as they meet things such as setbacks. And then lastly, the applicant has 2 years to fulfill all conditions. Next slide, please. And then here we have the recommendation for the creation of the new lot, which is B0725, which includes the the new survey, draft transfers, confirmation of all taxes, drain apportionments if needed. And then lastly, that the applicant rezone the property to residential district 1.1. Again, 2 years to fulfill all conditions. All righty. And now for the last slide, to remind the committee, you can either approve the application with or without conditions. You can defer the application or you can deny the application. However, if you defer or deny, we ask that you state your reasoning. And lastly, we do request that you make separate motions for each application. Thank you.
Robert or Stephen, do you have anything to add to the presentation? No? Okay. Okay, any questions or concerns from the committee? Go ahead there, Matthew.
You, Mr. Chair, no concerns per se, but I did have a clarification and a couple of questions. So to the clarification, I don't know if Marcia, you could scroll to maybe the third-ish slide in or something. Just want to make sure I'm understanding the property boundaries on this one. So that one there. So the existing lot shown in green, in fact, extends slightly to the west, right? Like that, the part that isn't hatched in green to the west should be. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
Through
thank
you,
you.
Chair.
The question, two questions, I guess. One is, you've spoken through you, Mr. Chair, you've spoken, Ian, about the zoning bylaw amendment application. Is there a reason for the sequencing here? Like, why come to the Committee of Adjustment to seek our approval before getting the bylaw amendment approval? Any thinking on that?
Mr. Chair, the applications can be presented at the same time, not to the same committee, of course. The Committee of Adjustment doesn't have the ability to rezone the property. However, we just haven't deemed the application complete for the zoning amendment, as there are other items that the applicant's looking to address, such as it would be the more appropriate time to adjust things like setbacks if needed, or the size of accessory structures. So just hasn't been deemed complete at this time.
Thank you. And then one more question, Mr. Chair, if I may, through you. Your planning report was very helpful around explaining what conditions were and were not included in your recommended list. In particular, Infrastructure Services did recommend a sanitary sewer cleanout and storm connection, and you indicate that that would be at the building permit application, that those would be addressed. So that's helpful. Later on in the planning report, Infrastructure Services also notes that, and I'll just read it, as the existing driveway is on the severed lot, a new driveway is required on the block 51. So I guess thinking to the second approval in what we're doing tonight, why was the driveway not included as a condition? Can you help me understand that?
Mr. Chair, on their site plan, it details the driveway as being completely within the retained lands. If need be, the applicants can shift it over. If the draft survey comes back and details that the driveway is located partially in the severed lands and the retained lands, that would be something we would work out with Infrastructure Services. However, I didn't feel that it was appropriate to be included as a condition, or sorry, deemed necessary to be included as a condition. Thank you.
Any questions from the public? Not seeing anything. Could I have a motion for B 0625? Doreen moved it, seconded by Matthew. Oh. Okay, thank you. Seconded by Matthew. All in favor? Motion passed. Looking for a motion for B 0725. Doreen, you get a turn here.
With conditions as noted.
Dan, all in favor? Motion passed. Congratulations, you're good to go. And motion for adjournment. Oh. Oh.
Remember?
All right, sorry. You guys can leave if you want. Motion, I need a motion to approve, motion by Doreen and a second by Dan. All good? Yep.
Okay, now we can.
Now motion. Matt is a motion for adjournment and seconded by Dan. All good? Perfect. Done.